Yes, Brother Steve Young here today. I want to say Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you, shalom. That simply means I am present for peace. I'd like to say to everyone, welcome to Black Men United. And we're here to give some information about Black Men United, what we're all about. We basically have a mission and a purpose. The Black Men United is not an organization, it's a coalition of black men, grassrooted, working together, as well as black organizations working together about information, resources to make our community a better place. It's about accountability, access, and transparency when it comes to our government, as well as the resources that should be filtering down to our black community. So I just want to greet everybody and tell them welcome very much, and we look forward to moving forward with everybody. There's a lot of things going on in our community today, and this is the only way you're going to be informed of what's really going down. A lot of people say, why black? Well, you know, we've been the one on the front line ever since we came through the slave ships, even before then. So we got to educate our youth about a legacy that's a struggle that we've been through, as well as today, and how it fit in with today. In order to do that, we got to give out information. We got to give out communication. See, information is power, and that's what we don't have flowing through our community. Atlantic City is a very unique place. Right now, the state has taken over. That means your mayor and your council, the city form of government, do not have no say-so on the day-to-day operations of the community. It's ran by the state. The state has been really running this city for years, but now they officially took over as of November of 2017. And you know, it's amazing because they want the city so bad, and they're saying that they're taking it because we don't have enough stability economically to stabilize our community and do for self. Well, that's because we've always been going by their plan. And that's one thing about the Black Men United, we have our plan and we have our agenda. Because after all the casino owners, from your president, Donald Trump, all the way to Steve Wynn and Mr. Icon, and all these billionaires has been here sucking up the money from our community, as well as the state of New Jersey and every government that's been here. All this money's been leaving here with the brightest minds in history. They've been paying millions and billions of dollars for people to plan their casinos and plan what's going on in Atlantic City and look at the condition of our communities. So their plan does not work. And when it don't work, we'll usually be the meal. Well, we're saying we're not going to be the meal anymore. That's over with. Some black folks want to still pick up the crumbs, but we're saying move to the side, get out of our way, because now it's time for us to set the table. So when you set the table, you put the napkin here, you put the fork here, and you tell everybody where the knife's going to go. And then you wait till you're invited. And when you're invited to our table, it's about us setting our table up. And when we set up our table, we have an agenda. So we've met with we introduced ourselves to the Lieutenant Governor. She's the highest ranking public official in the state under the governor. She's the Lieutenant Governor. Her name is Sheila Holloway. We're looking forward to following up with that, with implementing some things with our agenda. We've also met with the mayor of Atlantic City, Mr. Frank Gilliam, and we let him know as well that the black community needs the opportunity to do for self. A lot of people say it's time for us to do something for ourselves and wonder why the black man haven't. Well, you've been in our way. Now we're saying move out the way, or we will move you out of the way in order to get justice, equal justice, freedom, and access to everything that we rightfully do for us. So we're saying that if you want to join us, we have a number, 888-400-1236. And again, we don't only have black men, we have black businesses, black organizations. Me, myself, I belong to the National Action Network. That's with Reverend Al Sharpton, which is a national organization, as well as the Peacekeepers under Dennis Muhammad, and we be present for peace, walking in the community. And the reason why I belong to those, because I don't have to put down those positions and those things of networking with those organizations, because we're a coalition, we're not an organization. So we want to emphasize to everybody about using your talents to better our community. And again, we say black because we've been the ones oppressed. You know, it's always, some people say it's about diversity. and minorities. That's what hurted us the most in our black communities, because that's when everybody became wanting to take advantage of the things that we fought and bled for in our communities. Such as, it was a time when we didn't have the right to vote. Well, we had to fight and struggle. Dr. Martin Luther King's and others, they marched on the street, and that demonstration became legislation, and it became the right to vote. But when it came to the implementation of the right to vote, the legislators changed it, and that's where we dropped the ball. Because we got to ask every 25 years for permission for Congress to vote on us as black people, the right to vote. Not no other nationality, no other people has been through that, but us, the black people that has built and taken care of the children of the slave masters. So we're saying it's our day now, it's our time, and we ready to pick ourselves up our bootstraps. But we understand that the government has the straps, and you've been putting them around our neck. Well, we've taken that loose from our neck, and we put them back on our boots, and we're gonna strap ourselves up, and we're ready to take our community back. And we're gonna do that in a masterful way, and we're gonna let them know that it's about accountability, access, and transparency moving forward. So we want you to definitely stay tuned. We also have Facebook. You can reach us on Facebook, Black Men United. And we have some dynamite brothers with us. I mean, from paralegals to audio, video, from you name it. Small businesses, big businesses, and security, everything. You name it, we have it. From music, entertainment, anything you do and you want to do, we're networking together. And we're saying that because, at the council meeting yesterday, we met some strong black men that had their own business. And their thing was, racism is bringing them to a stagnant where they cannot move forward without being discriminated against. And white folks are telling them, oh, you're getting too big. How can you get too big and doing something for yourself and your own business? But to try to stop some black brothers to put themselves up at their own footsteps, that's not going to happen. Because we're going to network with them. They're going to become part of the coalition. And see, together is strength. See, it's something when you see one or two black men standing up together, but when you see black organizations standing up together, black men standing up together, because when we go in a room, whether it's Board of Education, whether it's dealing with CRDA, which is a Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, the Casino Control Commission, dealing with licenses with the casinos, City Hall, county government, you name it. When you see more than 5 brothers walking in a room, you get attention. And not only attention, you get respect. You wouldn't believe the respect we get, just the unification of us walking in a room anywhere. Even when we walk in a restaurant. Anywhere we go, we get attention and we get respect just by being present. And we be present in a peaceful manner, but they know that peacefulness can turn the other way around overnight. So we're nothing to be played with. And these sellouts and those who want to continue to be in the way and take from our community and take out of our community, we need to talk to you. And we need to talk to you because we're the foundation. And when the foundation starts to move and tremble, everything else falls. So we want to let you know, if you're going to be part of the foundation and the coalition, that you need to be in your place dealing with our agenda. So again, we want you to come, join us. We do have meetings. That's why we're saying and organize, because we understand that this is a war between good and evil. And we've been oppressed so long, and there's so many tools out here through government that's been oppressing us too long. And therefore, that's why we had to come up with our own agenda. Because the agenda that's been, and the Constitution that's in this country has not been in the favor for the black man. Our jails are overcrowded by us, but when it comes to resources and trickle them down to our community, they don't actually get where they should be. So those are things we're going to be talking more about, and we want you to be coming more about. You know, and we support black businesses, you know. Right now, this brother has a black business, and we can really eat lunch right now. And he has some chicken, the fish, and you name it, platters.
Whole thing.
And what's the name of that? What's the name of that, brother? What's the name of your
Abdullah's not Harris.
Say it again.
Abdullah's and not Harris platters.
Abdullah?
Can you
and
come over here and
Nahir?
say it, if you don't mind?
I'm kind of rushing, but
Okay.
I know you're rushing, but we want to let everybody know what you're getting ready to eat. This is Brother Troy.
yeah, yes sir.
Yeah, bend down just slightly.
Can you get
Yes,
me?
yes.
Okay.
And we supporting his businesses, and we're gonna let everybody know you need to support his business.
I
And
appreciate
what's the name of it again?
Abdullah's and not Harris platters at
And what's the number they can reach you at?
609-816-3628.
And how often do you have the dinner?
Every other Thursday right now.
Every Thursday. So
Yes.
call that number, and then I know it's finger licking good because it's
Absolutely.
smelling like it's good.
Yes.
So now that means 2 weeks from today?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Well, thank you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Be in touch.
I'm very busy.
See you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And those are the type of things we're talking about. We don't do enough of. You know, our communities have a lot of monies in our community, but most of these convenience stores, in Atlantic City, we have a lot of convenience stores. Conveniently, because you can get stuff right outside your door, and that's what you get the deaf dinners, and the deaf food. And what we mean like that, most of these convenience stores, the people that are in the neighborhood, that's spending the money, it's not operating the food, not at the cash register, not even sweeping the floor. And those are things we're gonna start talking to some of these vendors and these convenience stores and let them know that this cannot be tolerated anymore. You've taken billions and millions of dollars out of our community, and we talking about we broke, our children want jobs, our adults want jobs, and we got bills to be paid, and you taking the money and taking it overseas? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's not gonna continue to happen. And that's about accountability too, when it comes to these businesses. You know, there was a thing one thing is on our agenda about health. And that's one of our priorities, health. Health has a lot to do with drugs, mental illness, and one of the main things is Atlantic City has a major infant mortality rate than anybody almost in New Jersey. Now their plan is to add another addition to the medical center. Our plan is saying, wait a minute, this is a genocide for you to take our maternity ward out of Atlantic City and out of our hospital. So that means if someone's pregnant and having a baby, you cannot say you was born in Atlantic City anymore. Because about 10, 15 years ago, they took away the maternity ward. If that's not genocide, I don't know what else you can call it. And can you imagine a woman being pregnant? The hospital is 5 minutes away, but she has to go 20 miles away. An ambulance call, the ambulance take you to the hospital, and then all of a sudden, the baby's not ready to come. So it's a false labor. So then what happens after that? You have to get back home. Now, can you imagine the stress on a pregnant woman, 8 months, 9 months, ready to have a baby, but she cannot have that baby at this point, and she got to try to find a ride back to Atlantic City, which is 20 miles away? That's stress. And you wonder why we have a mortality rate. Our thing is the solutions. The solution, we're demanding that you bring back the maternity ward in Atlantic City so that our children, and we can continue to leave a legacy that you were born here in Atlantic City. Not in Pomona, not in Galloway, but right here, where the majority of black folks been born and raised at. So those are the type of things that's been a genocide and been very quiet. We don't really have a newspaper or a black newspaper to tell you what's going on and what's next and where to go for resources. Well, we want to be part of that to let you know that. These are some things that's very important to our survival and as a human being. And we have a human right to be treated, at least to be born. in a place that's comfortable and not too far from you. Because when a child gets sick and they out there 20 miles away and you got to travel back and forth to visit your child to make sure they're all right, then we have some problems. And that is very important that we solve that problem. Another thing is you can't even be buried here. So you can't be born here because we don't have a maternity ward, and you can't die here because we don't have a cemetery. They call it Atlantic City Cemetery, but it's 20 miles away. They call it Atlantic City Medical Center, it's 20 miles away. And it's not even in Atlantic City. These are the games and mentality that's been going on in our community for years, and we're saying enough is enough. There's been billions of dollars in what they call reinvestment dollars in Atlantic City, and every 4 years, a governor comes and say they're controlling the money through the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority. Those funds supposed to be used for the social, economic, and the housing issues that's been affected by gambling. And we tell you right now, how is it that the social ills that happens in Atlantic City is not being dealt with? So we're letting everybody know that we have to stay strong and we have to fight, but fight with an agenda, fight together, fight with a plan, and don't be scared. And that's who we want with us. The people don't have nothing to lose. Because if you're afraid of losing your job, your house, your wife, your husband, then that becomes your God. So who do you fear most? The God you believe in or losing that car? The God you believe in or losing that wife? The God you believe in or losing that job? You have to make a decision today. We're saying use your talent, and this coalition together, we can solve most of these issues. You say you believe in Muhammad, Moses, and Jesus, but they was in the community, in the streets. Where are you? You need to check yourself and ask yourself that question. Are you truly using your God-given talents towards helping your people? Because they at the foundation. They weren't, Jesus, Muhammad, and Moses, that's what they had in common the most. They was amongst the people. They weren't in a building and just praying, because prayer without works is nothing. You have to be out here, help solving each other's problem. That's what humanity is all about. Being black, that's how we survived that long. Because everybody say we can't unify and we're not going to last. But how did we last this long? Through oppression, through slavery, through the slave ships, and some of us didn't make it. But we last this long because of reason, because we had faith. Faith that was taken from us when we got here. Just say, everything's white is right, everything's black, you got to get back. No, we're not having that. We know the truth now. We need to let our children know. There's a thing that's called Amistad, which is a curriculum, a black curriculum, that's supposed to be implemented in the school system here in Atlantic City. We're going to check that. That's on our list about education. If you're not going to educate our children about where they're coming from, where they came from, and where they're going, and how it fits in with the racism that exists every day in Atlantic City, then we will. And it's a shame that the state, and there's a law that's mandated that you teach it as teachers and doctors, the people that have doctorates and masters, and you too afraid to teach these black children or your black teachers. And we wonder why we have racism, because most white teachers do not understand it. Because you don't understand our culture, because you've never been taught. Because you were too afraid to learn it. And you was too afraid of the black man learning it and may use it against you. Well, the truth is the power, and sometimes you got to realize you have to know where you're coming from, know where you're going. If we're going to move forward as human beings in this country and in this world, we have to know where we come from and how we fit in as our talents as human beings. And one thing we can say about the black man, we've been the strongest and the most fearless people on this planet Earth. And we want to remain that and not be less than because the way the system is telling you to be, because the majority of black men is locked up in jail. We have some issues coming to Atlantic City very soon with legalizing recreational marijuana. That's an issue economically, socially, and criminally that we need to be talking about now. Not when it gets here, but now.
And we about to bring it all to you in our next segment.
Because that's very important that we work together and we get that information. The brother that just talking, his name is
James King L.
and we'll see you very soon at our next segment. Thank you.